Holy crap, we have a Trans Am car in Forza, and not only do we have a Trans Am car in Forza, it's in the division of Forza GT, and not only is it in the Forza GT division, it doesn't have headlights. It barely has brake lights, so cars are already going crazy, barely past the start-finish line at the start of this race. VIR Short, Virginia International Raceway, short circuit at night. I don't have headlights. Oh my god. Practice was a chore, it really was. My video card decides to get extra derpy in the dark. Sometimes you can barely see the track, sometimes it's just pitch black, like it's some sort of scary movie video game. But yeah, I'm actually really surprised to see a Trans Am race car in this game. I know there is an IMSA partnership with Forza, so seeing IMSA cars in here shouldn't be a surprise, but seeing something from the SCCA Trans Am division, this is a TA car, which means it's one of the, it's part of the division where there's Challengers, Mustangs, and Camaros all racing against each other. There's many divisions within Trans Am, but yeah, very interesting if they'll bring any more to the game, as a Porsche decides to drift and then steer itself right into oblivion. This is the dark part of the track where, for whatever reason, they didn't put any lights in the infield, and it's treacherous for those cars that do not have headlights. ERS Ardell going for an extreme lunge and then getting punted, and I just keep getting punted into the Dodge Viper, going further and further into the grass. This won't be an entire full clip of the race, just a couple things, some highlights from this specific race before we move on. And this is the end of lap 1. So yeah, VIR at night, interesting. And it's even worse without headlights. So here we go, I'm up into 10th place, lap 2. Not going as fast as I would like, it's a little heavy. The car just feels heavier than most of the other Forza GT cars. I do not have a tune on this. It's literally just bone stock, and I'm just trying my best to not do this right here. So I dip into the wall, absolutely making an arse of myself, and just spinning the wheels and not trying to get frustrated, but this car is easy to handle, but if you give it too much, it can be a handful. Now this is the part where it's just dark. Look at that, it's just completely dark. I'm following the brake lights at this point. I'm off track, but I can't tell where the track limits are. I guess I could turn on track limits so I get that big blue ribbon, but as you can see, I've turned off all of my assists. I don't have any braking guides, I don't have any driving line. I also do not have this. I'm always driving with manual. I never drive automatic, so that's never changed. I'm not using manual with clutch because I don't feel it necessary with these race cars. And I didn't even see what place I finished in because I was yapping so much. So here, check this out. 22 players on this track, and I am in the back. So it's pretty much a last to first scenario. I'm trying not to run through people. I'm trying to be safe and go around them. So I'm not even at turn 1 yet. I'm already up into 17th place, but very, very slowly, as there was a lot of carnage. A lot of people that are shuffling. So at this point in Forza Motorsport, the game has been officially released. So the early release people that I was racing with, they kind of had a better sense of motorsport and sportsmanship about them. Now that the general public is allowed to play the game, you see that Forza is kind of back to its old school Forza. Everything is just kind of crazy. No one has really good awareness or sportsmanship when it comes to racing on this game. And now I haven't really noticed if it's worse or not, but this game is also on Game Pass, so even if you didn't buy the game, you can still play it if you have Game Pass, and that should give the player base an extra boost. There's a lot of people that just don't really give a crap. They kind of treat the game as Wreckfest. I was going to say they kind of treat the game as Forza Horizon, but we all know that's more of an arcade game, so it's okay. I'm not going to say it's okay to smash into people, but it just seems like it's more generally allowed and tolerated on Forza Horizon, where rammers on Motorsport really shouldn't be happening, and the Lamborghini that's rated way too high to be in Forza GT pushes me in the back and then goes head-to-head with the Porsche there, head-on collision. gaining 3 positions, but then immediately losing 1 to, what the hell is that, an Audi? Yeah, so now I'm in 9th place at the end of lap 1, doing really good, and I jump into 8th place, squeezing in front of him really quickly just before the apex. Now we're side by side going into the next turn, and he's going to overshoot it. I'm going to try to take this as professionally and cleanly as possible, and I'm up into 8th place. Scoot on ahead to later on in lap 2. Trying to keep it on the track. Couple cars ahead. I'm going to just swoop right in front of this Acura right here. Wasn't really going fast. I think he just slowed down a little too much, and I was able to take his position really quick. I'm going so fast my GPU cannot keep up. For whatever reason, my graphics card just cannot keep up with all the crap, and yeah. Every once in a while it'll do that in the game, so it looks like I need to upgrade my graphics card because between this and WRC, and I really didn't expect that guy to just come across like that. I really thought I had an opening, so that was completely misjudged. Falling back into 10th place after I got all straightened up there. Later on in lap 3, the same guy who knocked me off the track, he's right there. At least I think that was him. And I'm cutting through the grass, not intentionally. Let's see if it gives me a penalty, and no, that was very lucky, very, very lucky. Going into this quick dip, 2 cars going way wide there in the grass. I don't know if they hit the wall. It looks like there is an accident going to go around that car. That is the Audi. Coming up quick on, I can't tell if that's a Corvette or a Porsche. That's a Corvette. So Sea Monster 777. Gonna catch up to him pretty quick. The Trans Am feeling pretty damn good around Maple Park. Or what is this called? Maple Valley. Easily overtaking that Corvette up into 7th place. Later on lap 4. Going up the hill. This is a long right-hander uphill. And that car is just barely going to back up into me. And that could have been way worse. I don't know why that car didn't turn into a ghost after it just threw it in reverse and backed up into the racetrack. So up into 6th place. Not bad for starting in 22nd. And that car going way wide. I have the speed to overtake, but I'm going to play it safe and let off the throttle and tuck in behind him, because I know I can outdo him in the long right-handed carousel of not round 1, but turn 1. Lap 5 of 5, we're in the last lap, and like I predicted, the Corvette going really wide, the Trans Am able to sneak right in front without any collisions. That was a clean overtake, so I am up into 5th place now. Corvette trying to go through me instead of around and fails miserably, and I am off into the distance. Later on lap 5, nothing's going to happen. I'm pretty sure I could have caught up to this guy if I had at least one more lap. But, you know, top 5 finish, 5th place after starting in 22nd place. That's not bad at all, to be honest. And guess what's next? Another night race. Oh my glob, that is crazy. So I didn't qualify again because it's actually more fun to not qualify and start in the back and try to get through the chaos. It's fun. It makes for great content such as this. Look at this. They're just pushing. 3 laps of Spa. They don't have time for patience. None of that stuff exists. So I'm pushed back into 18th place, and things are gonna get spicy. It's pretty much gonna be everything. All the action happens in lap 1, I think, in this race. And then this Porsche. I think it's a Porsche having a mistake. Going down the long straight, and this Challenger is just purring down the straight. 160 miles an hour. Can we do it before we hit the brakes? 160, there you go. So we're keeping up with the GT boys quite nicely. Dump it down into 2nd gear. Not overdo it with the throttle. Keep it easy on the curbs. The curbs feel a lot better on this game. We've got another Trans Am here, so it's Trans Am TA action going against this overpowered Lamborghini. Mongrel child, and the PI of that Lamborghini, it doesn't make sense to me. I mean, the car is like 916 PI when everything else is not even close to that. It doesn't make sense to me. It's damn near, I think it's a prototype. It's labeled as P, Class P for prototype, is what I always considered P to be anyways. So the reason, I don't understand that car right there. They should have put maybe, I don't know, anything else. The balance system, the BOP of all these cars really is a little off to me. I really think that, yeah, you could pick your car, but they should be a little bit more evenly matched. And in terms of tuning, that should be your deciding factor there. Change up the gear ratio maybe a little bit, or change up the the aero of your car, but that should be what alters your car's performance, I think. Just my personal preference. I'd rather see closer battles. There are some decent battles within these Forza GT lobbies, but for the most part, some cars are stronger than others. You see that in pretty much any lobby, especially with the TCR lobby, the touring cars. The Volkswagen is definitely the fastest, but it gets boring driving the fastest car. It doesn't to me, the Volkswagen is not my favorite, and I prefer the Honda and the what's the other one? I can't remember. The Honda and the Hyundai. There you go. So here we go. I'm going to go on the outside of Mongrel Child here. The cars are widely spread out at this point. We're going to dive into turn 1. Let's see what kind of tomfoolery we get ourselves into. I purposely go wide to avoid any contact, and it actually wasn't a bad idea. I barely got hit by Mongrel there, but I'm able to hit the throttle down and overpower him. So even though he is a prototype labeled car, I guess maybe the BOP is better than I thought. Barely cutting through there, and I get another penalty. I'm pretty much an entire second behind at this point. These cars bumping elbows. I'm going to get on the outside of him and then cut on the inside just because I didn't think he was going to give me any space, and I prefer the inside of this one, but he doesn't give me any space. Cuts the apex so bad that his entire car goes on the inside grass there. Up into 12th, trying to catch up to this C8R. He's kind of squirrely all over the place. Do I go for the dive? No, I'm not close enough, so I'm going to chicken out of that. The other challenger is going to make his presence known. The Corvette goes wide, and Mitchie is going to go on the inside there, so excellent move by Mitchie. The Corvette tucks in behind me, missed my apex. Mitchie's off with a great run out of that sector, and him and I are pulling away from the Corvette, going into the long left-hander downhill section. I love this part of the track. It's so damn fast. I'm just going to keep my racing line. I'm going to have the Corvette make him do the move, but he lunges, overdoes it, and I do the cutback. And that's pretty much the extent of that race. Nothing really happened to me. I just stayed behind Mitchie. We ended up catching up to some guy, and you can see those two battling up ahead. I think that's Mitchie and Cyborg Kills. So I have the speed to get in front of him. Let's see if I can get in front of this Viper here. Late on the brakes, kind of going sideways, trying to tuck into the apex. I don't know if he just didn't see me or if he wasn't trying to play nicely there, but I thought I rightfully had that spot there. I was side by side with him. He just turned into me. But it really doesn't matter because my penalty is going to give him back the position. So yeah, that's it. The Challenger is awesome. Get it, play it. It's great. 11th place in that race. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next race. Bye-bye.